Hi everyone, and I'll wait for some people to join. I know we have some special people coming on today. I'll give it a minute. All right. So, hello everyone and happy Friday. It's Insta Live on Fry, and this is Molly. I'm subbing in for Audrey. Happy birthday, Audrey. Maggie did a lot of the preparation, but I'm here today to talk a bit about consent and how you talk to kids about consent. So just a reminder, the views in this video are not necessarily that of Safe Harbors, but of those in the video. And today we'll be discussing, like I mentioned, how to talk about consent with kids. So you can start talking and modeling consent, talking about and modeling consent at a very young age with children. And really, there's a great website, kids.org, that has information on how to raise empowered young adults who have empathy for others and a clear understanding of healthy consent. So if you're looking for more information, kids.org, great resource. So let's get into how we talk to kids about consent. So starting at birth, we can tell kids, even before they can verbally communicate with us, what we're doing and why we're doing it. So when you're changing your child's diaper, when you're giving them a bath, when you're helping them wash the private parts of their body, explaining to them what you're doing and why you're doing it. And as they get older, they're going to recognize that there's a specific reason and purpose for what you're doing, and then they're going to learn how to do those things on their own. As youth get older and they're able to verbalize and communicate with their own words, it's really important to establish their ability to practice consent. So being able to say yes or no, and knowing that no and stop are important words. So when a child says no or stop, every adult in their life is respecting that. And that means that as adults, we have to step in when we see other adults not following those guidelines. So maybe we have a brother or sister or a parent who's tickling our child, and our child is saying, stop, no, I don't like this. It's our job as adults to intersect and say, hey, they told you to stop, I need you to respect that. And what that shows children is that when they say no or stop, that person should do so. And if they don't, it's a problem. Because so many people, before consent was really something we talked about at a young age, have grown up in situations where they don't really know that no or stop is going to get someone to stop doing something. So as we teach it while they're young, they're able to really learn, and they respect when other people say no or stop, because they know that that is an important word or phrase. Respecting boundaries and privacy is also huge as children get older, allowing them to have privacy, but also knowing the difference between surprises and secrets. So when kids are even in pre-K, talking about that difference. A surprise is a happy secret that we're keeping. So a happy piece of information that we're maybe not telling, like, oh, we have a surprise for mom for Mother's Day, versus a secret, which could be very harmful for a child to feel the pressure of keeping, of someone saying, you know, don't tell anybody that this is what we're doing, or I did this, but you can't tell anyone, because it really does build a sense of anxiety in children and makes them feel uncomfortable. So being able to teach them the difference between a secret and a surprise is another great step to teaching and talking to your children about consent. Also, allowing children to say no to hugs and kisses, to even handshakes. If they do not want to give their Grandma Gertrude a kiss, they don't have to. And that's something that a lot of people talk about struggling with, especially with their grandparents or other people in their families, that it's not always respected. But we as adults really want to start that at a young age, that when a child says no, or they don't have to verbally say no, but they indicate, no, I don't want to give this person a hug or kiss, they are not forced to do so. And then also giving youth the opportunity to practice consent. So whether that's with their peers, if they're out playing, asking someone else, hey, can I play with you? Hey, can I swing on the swing next to you? And these are really normal things that a kid would do, but they're teaching them to ask for permission rather than just doing something that they want to do. And it's also room for improvement. As children develop and get older, it's easier for them to have self-control. It's easier for them to see if they're doing something and the other person doesn't like it. But as adults, we're teaching those cues. We're reminding kids, hey, it looks like Jimmy is uncomfortable with the way that you are playing with him with the stuffed animal. Maybe you should ask him if he wants to play with something else, or maybe you should stop doing that because he doesn't seem very happy. Children have to be taught those social cues, and it really takes sometimes an adult stepping in and saying, hey, what you're doing is not working. Let's try something else. And, ultimately also teaching gut instincts, gut feelings, letting children know that if something makes them uncomfortable and they don't maybe have the words to explain why, that's okay. And that something can just make you uncomfortable, or you maybe just don't want to do that, or you don't, someone makes you nervous, and it's okay to talk about that, as well as talking about bodies, talking about bodily changes, hormonal changes throughout puberty, and keeping a safe space for kids to be able to share feelings that they might be having, concerns. Because while we're talking about consent on the playground when they're maybe 5 or 6, as they get older, we're going to be moving away from playground talk, and we're going to be working with our kids on relationships that they're having as they get into middle and high school and beyond, being able to get affirmative consent. And we should probably have started with the definition, but consent is really getting permission to do something, and it's free, voluntary, enthusiastic permission, meaning that we are not manipulating someone, we are not asking someone 7 times until they say yes, we are doing something that someone else wants us to do. And as we start at a younger age, it makes it a lot easier when they're older to have conversations about sex, because we've already talked about it in every other way, whether it's playing on the playground, making a new friend, having the first sleepovers, really being able to build upon what we've taught them at a young age. So to kind of just recap everything before we close our Insta Live Friday, when we were talking to youth about consent, we want to begin talking about consent as early as possible, explaining to them why or when we may need to help them with wiping or help them with bathing, explaining what we're doing and who should be doing that. When they go to the doctor, letting them know that they have the right to tell the doctor no if they don't want something, that the doctor should be explaining what they're doing and why they're doing it as they're doing it to our child, or even as adults as well. Having children recognize that no and stop are important words, knowing that when they say no or stop, it will be respected and it should be respected, modeling that for them, and stopping other adults if they're not respecting your child's no or stop, teaching children boundaries and privacy, acknowledging that their bodies are changing, that they may have feelings about things, that they might want to do something that someone else doesn't want to do, and they have to learn how to appropriately act upon their feelings and be able to maybe take a step back if they are doing something that someone else doesn't like. Never forcing hugs or kisses, no matter who the family member is, and giving them opportunities to practice consent from as early on as asking a kid if they can play with them on the playground, to in middle school and high school when they may be in relationships and are asking someone if they want to kiss or if they want to do other sexual acts. And sometimes there's a level of comfort that comes with that, but when we start off young, it really builds that foundation for youth and makes them more comfortable to come to us, or makes them more comfortable to acknowledge when someone's pushed them or not respected their boundaries. So thank you again today for joining us, and have a great Friday and a great rest of your weekend. Bye.